Hey guys, my name is Lilly and I have a really bad feeling about what's going on in the world. So I've been reading newspapers for the last 20 years in my life, and the amount of bad news that we are getting right now has tripled, if not quadrupled, if you compare it to the news that we got 20 years ago. So I believe that right now we are in a very dangerous situation, and that's because many factors are coming together. So it started out as pandemic, but if you're honest, we already had problems in the financial sector before that. And we had inflation before that, especially when it comes to housing. But what is happening now is that there are so many things happening at once, and I believe that this complexity of the system might collapse if it's attacked from different sides. So this is a real problem. And the problems that I see coming right now is, first of all, food shortages. And I'm not alone with this opinion. Okay, so here I have an article by The Guardian, and it says that shortages of grain and fertilizer could cause mass hunger and famine, says chief, as World Bank pledges another 12 billion to ease the shortfall. So I believe that most people agree that we will get food shortages. Now, back in the day when I studied economics, the first thing you learn is that resources are scarce. And also when we had logistics, they told us that you want to optimize the supply chain so that you get more profit out of it. And this is what the supply chain managers have done in the last decades. They have made the supply chain very efficient and very profitable. But the problem is they also made it very vulnerable and weak. Because if there's one ship not coming in time, or if there's one, truckload not coming in time, then the entire system is getting slowed down. And if this happens more often, then it can even break down. So, and that's a real problem. Logistics is super important for the economy, and if this doesn't work for whatever reason, it doesn't matter why it's not working, then the entire economy can break down. So right now I believe that the logistical problems are caused by lockdowns, especially the one in China, in Shanghai, which is already lasting really long. The second problem is that simply workers are missing, ships are missing, trucks are missing, and now they are not getting enough of parts anymore to repair trucks and such. So that's a real problem. If logistics fails, then the entire economy can collapse. It doesn't have to be, but there's a high risk that the economy might collapse, and that will be a big problem. So if I was a government, I would do everything. I would prioritize the logistics. I would make sure that there are enough of truckers, enough of trucks, that everything goes smooth. I also would harden the infrastructure against a blackout, because this is something that we might be facing here in Europe pretty soon, because we do not have enough of natural gas. Just for your information, I want to show you how much of natural gas Austria is using. So here you can see what the natural gas in Austria is used for. So in the year we are in the need of 90 terawatt hours of natural gas. 20% is used for the households to heat homes. 30% is used to produce electricity. So if we don't have gas anymore, then we are losing this 30% of electricity capacity, and 40% of the natural gas is used for the industry, for paper, chemistry, steel, stone and glass production, and to produce food. So we need electricity and gas, natural gas, to produce food, and then you need diesel and gas to transport all of those goods to warehouses and supermarkets and so on. So this is the economy, but what I'm most concerned about is the people, because the wages are not increasing as much as the inflation, and this will lead to a downward spiral people will get poorer and poorer. They might lose their homes, and that would be really bad. Alright guys, so what is my plan? How can I prepare against all of this? I think I'd rather spend my money on valuable items like tools and food and water than having it on the bank. So this is my personal decision. This is not financial advice for you, but this is what I'm doing. So now, every now and then, I take a certain amount of my savings and then I go to the store and I buy small amounts of food with a little bit of extra. So I don't want to buy all of the store here empty. No, I just want to build a prepping supply, and that's what I'm doing very slowly. And this is important because otherwise, if everybody goes into the store and panic buys the hell out of the store, then it will be empty, and that can lead to even bigger problems. So if you want to start prepping, then make sure that you add a little bit more foods than what you normally eat. So take 2 extra cans of beans and rice, a few extra water bottles for your home. And if you do this like every week or so, then in a few months you should have a really nice food supply at home without having to panic buy. Okay, so now let's go into the store and buy a few things. I will not only buy food, but I will take a look around and see what's on sale. Maybe I buy some, I don't know, tools again. We will see. Alright, I'm back home, and this is the food haul of the day. Okay, so this is my water supply. It's pretty good for our standards. Usually we have less water because we drink the tap water. But right now we are drinking bottled water again, and that's because the groundwater level in this area right now is really low, and that's because we had less rain than usual. And because the groundwater level is so low, all of the chemicals and pesticides get concentrated in it. So right now the nitrates are really high in concentration. The authorities say that it's still drinkable, but yeah, I'd rather not. So this is why right now we are drinking mostly bottled water. Alright, so now I have to sort in my preps of today. So I think I'm doing really well for food. I think this will easily get us through 3 months, and that's pretty good. The only thing that I don't have is medical preps, so I'm really bad at that. I have food and water, but I'm not a nurse. I cannot sew myself together. I do not have the knowledge of how to make a surgery or something. So I had none of that equipment at home. But now the company Polymedical sent me these 2 packages. Okay, now I want to take a closer look at these 2 packages here. Let's start with the skin stapler. I think this is probably one of the most important preps. So if you hurt yourself and you cannot get any treatment in the hospital, then with this tool you at least have a chance to close any gashing wounds. So here you can see a skin stapler, and then you get a few other things too. Let's open up the box. So this is how the stapler looks like. You also have 55 wires inside, preloaded, and it's actually in a sterile environment. So this is sterile right now, and if you need it, you just rip open this pack here, and then you can use the stapler on yourself or on your family members. So yeah, pretty good. So I have no surgical experience, but the instruction is clear. So you take your tongs or your plastic forceps, you pinch together the skin, and then you staple it, and this is how it goes. And also, this stapler is going to be sterile for 5 more years. So that's really awesome. So this is what you get if you buy the skin stapler by Polymedical. And if you want to know where you can purchase this, I will leave some links in the description below. Okay, then here we have this other set. I think, oh yeah. So this is surgical tools. I do not know how to use them, but I have a nurse who is living nearby, and I believe she will be happy if I bring her those tools in an emergency situation so that she can sew people up. Also, I have a doctor living a couple of blocks away who is definitely capable of doing small surgeries. So yeah, it's great to have this stuff at home, and this way you can help yourself and also others. Alright, so this is the surgical instrument kit by Polymedical. Really nice small kit, and it certainly is a good prep for your home. Okay, also I wanted to let you know that I just phoned my cousin, and we decided that we are going to prepare a second place. So we are going to prepare his place. This is my house and I'm in suburbia, but he has this farmhouse and he has a lot of land. He also owns the forest where I have my bug out camp on, and we talked about how things are going with the world, and we both agreed that it's best if we prepare his place as well, so that if I have to leave this place, I have somewhere to go, and that the preps are already there when we arrive. And this is going to be our next task. So we want to prepare his homestead as good as possible. We want to install solar panels and batteries and make sure that his fridge is working if there's a blackout, and also we want to build up a food supply at his place. And yeah, so this is going to be another prepping video which is going to come up in future. And back in the old village, this is where I'm from actually, so I grew up like 3 houses besides my cousin's house. I know everybody, so everybody knows me. And I think in a crisis, it's best to go to the countryside. And yeah, I'm really glad that I have this connection still, and that I have a place to go. So I think it's a really good idea to have a second bug out location, but also if you have to bug in to your location, make sure that you get along with all your neighbors, that you make friends, and maybe form a prepper group. So maybe convince other people to put back at least 3 weeks of food and water, because this is so important right now, okay? If everybody has food at home, if everybody is prepared, then there will be less chaos on the streets when the blackout happens or when something else happens. So make sure you get preps. This way you don't have to worry so much anymore and you can sleep much better. Okay, so this is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching, and if you want to see more content like this, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Stay tuned till next time.